Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's 9:30, September 7th, and we had another cloudy day today. Not too much rain, occasional light rain, but you can see clouds are firmly in place. Still have that low pressure offshore. If we look at the Weather Prediction Center, you'll see there is that low pressure offshore there that's kind of stuck offshore. Still got that moisture coming around. Hurricane Earl over there. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Generally speaking, though, in the clouds today, not a whole lot of rain, a few little sprinkles around. Sky, it's sort of lightened up a little bit. You see we had a few breaks here, kind of went outside in the afternoon for a little bit. You see we had a few sunny breaks, and there were a few little sprinkles coming down too. As the sky looked like tonight, and the sky, actually this afternoon, and then this is what the sky looked like tonight. Pretty interesting there, just that heavy deck of clouds that you get with the easterly winds. But that will be a thing of the past. We will be seeing more of that sunshine tomorrow. Looking at the current conditions outside right now, yes, the west is still, we're going to talk about that. Look at all these red flag warnings. It's absolutely insane. But let's first talk about the weather locally here on Long Island. And you can see temperatures generally around, around 68, 67 degrees, 66 out east, 69 in Carl Place. I was about to say the alley was a little warmer, but no, I guess not. Alley is close to what it is everywhere, I guess. But it just feels warmer here. I don't know what it is. It just feels warmer. But you can see temperatures generally in the upper 60s. A very cool day today without the sun. Dew points are a little lower as well. So let's take a look at those dew points. And you'll see here dew points generally in the low 60s. So let's take a look at what the weather was like at Islip today. It probably wasn't much in the way of any rainfall today, just traces of rain. But you can see generally highs, just like yesterday, only low 70s, dew points in the low 60s, east to northeast winds, and a little bit of occasional light rain. I mean, light rain is pushing it, because it was more like a sprinkle. It wasn't even enough to wet the ground. Here, a few drops here and there. Not really much going on. You can see that northeast wind in place for the entire area. And that means our high temperatures for the day are going to be a lot cooler, with highs only in the low 70s, even New Jersey, pretty much low 70s everywhere, and even cooler up in this area where there was some rain. If we look at the radar, you'd see that there actually is rain, or there was rain over there in that area. We look at the, we'll go to the Ventus sky, I guess. We'll look at the Ventus sky, it's fine. I think it is raining over there. Maybe not. Let's see. I think it was raining there earlier. Yeah, there were a couple of showers around earlier in the day in this area of eastern Pennsylvania. But right now it's more or less dry. So let's now talk about the latest in the tropics. And we have two hurricanes and one system that's getting ready to become a new tropical storm. You can see. So let's. We are busy with this. So we'll start with Danielle first of all. Hurricane Danielle, and how it has it impacting Spain or Portugal as a depression. That's pretty crazy. All right, that's pretty crazy. So let's look at the latest public advisory on Hurricane Danielle. It's holding on to its strength, expected to become post-tropical on Thursdays. So they're going to make it post-tropical, I guess because maybe it's losing some of its tropical characteristics. As of 9 p.m., location 44.9 north, 34.9 west, about 625 miles northwest of the Azores. Maximum sustained winds are 80 miles an hour. Still moving northeast at 16 miles an hour, so it's now starting to pick up some forward momentum. Minimum sensor pressure 972 millibars to 8.71 inches. And they say it's going to be taking a slow loop, and then head for Portugal, perhaps. And the extent of hurricane force winds is now outward up to 70 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 230 miles from the center. So you can see it's becoming a bigger storm. So let's go take a look at that we'll take a look at a couple, I guess, images of Danielle here. So let's first start with the satellite image. And we'll go to storms, we'll go to Danielle, and we'll take a look first at this satellite image here. So there's Danielle. Look at that eye. That eye is huge. That is a huge eye. Look at that thing. Waiting for it to load. It's moving kind of slow here. There we go. That is a huge, huge eye. You're starting to see it becoming a little more disorganized now as it starts to slowly lose. But that is a huge storm. And remember how far north this storm is. All right, so yeah, let's go to the MODIS satellite. We'll take a look at the MODIS satellite. All right, and you'll see how far north this storm is. Look at how far north that storm is. That is incredible. And that eye is big too. All right, we can put it on the legend here. All right, so we can put the eye on the legend. In fact, I can use a ruler. I think we can do it like this. It says measure distance. Let's see if we can measure distance. Okay, so let's see. All right, here we go. All right. I don't know how to use it. Well, here we go. I'm on. There we go. 45 kilometers. That's pretty big. Was that like 25 something miles? That's a big eye. That's a big eye. All right. We got to clear this out. Take the measuring tool off. If I can. All right. I'm going to close that up. I can also put it over here like this. All right. As you can see, yeah, it's about 25 miles wide, that eye. 25, 30 miles wide. That's a big eye. So, and again, look at how far north this thing is. Here's Newfoundland. Here's the United Kingdom. Here's Greenland. I mean, they may be seeing some action from this in Greenland, perhaps, as far as elevated surf goes. So that's really just incredible. Incredible that this is that such a storm of that magnitude is that far north. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but this is all part of the real new normal that we should be scared of. So let's go now to the tropical tidbits, and we will go and look at the satellite on Danielle here. You see that big eye? There it is. Look at that big eye. That's just incredible. And has to see it that far north. I mean, this is, 46 degrees north? That's incredible. So that just amazes me. All right. It's, something that should be being talked about, but, of course it's not. So let's take a look at the spaghetti model run. You can see it does that. They all agree on it taking this loop, and then it's going to head as a remnant low toward Portugal or Spain. So Europe, you may get some moisture from this. We'll have to see what happens. It's crazy, but it is going to be weakening. Here's the model. So I think probably by tomorrow it'll be a tropical storm, or post-tropical storm as they're going to call it. So now let's go to Earl. That'll be the next one we got to go to here. All right, so let's go to Earl. And we are going to look at Hurricane Earl. All right, looks like it's strengthened. And again, the cone, if I didn't show you the cone here for Danielle, we'll show you the cone for Danielle. Maybe I forgot to do that. Whoops. Here's the satellite. You can see, again, let me show you the cone for Danielle. It seems to be missing. Oh, there it is. I don't know. Yeah, this is it. So this is the cone. Again, you see it impacting. If I didn't show it to you already. It's just very unusual. All right. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. So let's go back. Let's get to Earl. All right. This tropics are busy. All right. So NOAA hurricane hunters find that Earl is strengthening. As of 8 p.m., its location is 26.8 north, 65.5 west, about 390 miles south of Bermuda. Maximum sustained winds down 90 miles an hour, moving north at 8 miles an hour. Minimum sun suppression 971 millibars, 28.67 inches. And now we have a hurricane watch for Bermuda and a tropical storm warning for Bermuda. So Earl is moving toward the north, and a turn toward the north-northeast is expected overnight, followed by a turn to the northeast during the day on Thursday, with a gradual increase in forward speed. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 45 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 150 miles from the center. So now let's go and take a look at Earl on the satellite here. And this is Earl. Again, look at all that convection blowing up. That's a sign of a rapidly strengthening hurricane right there. Look at that. I think this thing could be a Cat 3 by tomorrow. The rate things are going. It's really intensifying. very rapidly. Look at that blow up there. That's an incredible blow up. I'll just draw that out for you so you can see what I'm talking about here. Look at this right here. That's a perfect area of convection going right there. Look at that, especially on that right there. That is some really nice convection going on that storm, and it's really intensifying very rapidly. Let's go take a look at it on Tropical Tidbits now. So switch this over to Earl. Here's Earl. And, yep, there you go. Look at those white. You can see all that convection. It still doesn't have a well-defined eye, but it's going through rapid strengthening. And that is, again, with all that warm water to work with, the only way to go is up for this thing to continue to strengthen. And that's what we're going to see. If we look at the models on this, you can see Bermuda is over here. It comes close to Bermuda. It's going to be a shave. And then it heads out into the middle of the same area where Danielle was. And by the time it gets out here, it's still going to have a pack a punch, I'm sure. I'm sure they're getting effects in they're probably getting effects in Greenland probably from Danielle, and could be from this one as well, as far as storm surges and stuff. Your intensity guidance. Look at this. Yeah, a lot of models now taking it up to Cat 4. Well, a few. Not a lot of them are taking it to 3. So yeah, it's going to stay a hurricane for a while. All right. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Again, really impressive. And again, if we look at this Earl on this satellite here, you'll see here's Earl right here, all right? And then this is 14, looking healthy already. I think this is considered tropical depression 14. This will be the next storm, all right? This is the next one the Hurricane Center is watching, all right? Well, let's not go to that models yet. So let's go to current storms, and we've got to go to 14W, all right? And this is what it looks like here. No, that's not 14. That's an Asian storm. So they don't have that over here? Oh, 96L. I don't know how they make the names for these. I think this is it. This is 95L Invest. All right. They give them names. So if we'll go to the Hurricane Center. All right. So it's confusing, your tidbits. This is this area here. So this is the area right here we're talking about. I think they go by degrees as to where it is. I don't know how they come up with the names on this, but this has got a 70% chance now. All right, this storm right here. So if that is the storm, it looks like it does recurve out to sea, and it doesn't have it getting too intense. If this is the storm that they're talking about, they really should separate. All right, it's not 92W involved. Maybe it's not 90B. All right, so it's 90. It's 95L. All right, they give it names. Now there's K. Oh yeah, we got to get to K. That's right. Let's not leave K out of the picture. So this is K right here. This is a Pacific storm. Wow, that's looking really nice and intense. Look at that blow up there. That's really just really intense there. And this is the Pacific storm that is over here, right here, heading perhaps with a brushstroke with Baja. This again, look at that thing. That's huge. Look at that, is like really. So let's get the latest on that from the Hurricane Center. Eastern Pacific, K. Look at that, 100 miles an hour already. The winds are. This thing's going to be a Cat 3 soon. Hurricane K. K brings strong winds and heavy rains to the southern Baja California Peninsula of Mexico as of 6 p.m. Its location 22.6 north of 113 west, 200 miles west of the southern tip of Baja, about 300 miles south-southeast of Punta Eugenia, Mexico. Maximum sustained winds are 100 miles an hour, moving north-northwest at 13 miles an hour. Minimum sunspot pressure 971 millibars to 8.68 inches. And again, I believe that we are going to see there are some warnings out. Automated observing stations in Puerto Cortez on the west coast reported a sustained wind of 33 with a gust of 41. So looking at our map here, our warning cone, you can see we've got tropical storm warnings now. We've got a hurricane warning in effect for Baja. Wow. I can't even remember when a hurricane actually hit Baja. Baja is supposed to be pretty dry, from what I understand. So this is very unusual And it wouldn't take much for this thing to kind of go in. I mean, one day Southern California is going to get a hurricane. Yeah, that's almost unheard of. But with those warming water temperatures, so we got tropical storm warnings in effect for most of Baja and hurricane warnings in for the Midwest coast of Baja. So that's pretty incredible right there to see. I can't ever remember a hurricane landfalling in that area. Again, when you're messing with the steering patterns and in the atmosphere, this is what's going to happen. You're going to see things happen that never happened before, and that's what we're seeing. And then speaking of that, let's now go to the West Coast, where we're going to go back to the weather and hazards map. And look at all these red flag warnings in effect. Low humidity, gusty winds, excessive heat warnings still in effect to Friday in Central California. So they're still dealing with the heat here in California. Excessive heat warnings, insane weather going on. So if we look at the observations over there, which is what we're going to do right now, looking at the heat over there, let's see how it compares to yesterday. They broke a lot of records yesterday. 99 in Burbank. So it continues. 99 in Burbank, and I know they came close to having a rolling blackouts yesterday. 106 in Chino. 108 in Sacramento, and I know they broke an all-time record yesterday. If we take a look at what it's been like in Sacramento, it was a little cooler today, but yesterday they broke an all-time record high at Sacramento, and it was pretty crazy, this heat going on out there. And again, you can see just we need to talk about politics. We could do a whole newscast just on all this crazy weather going on. And you look at this, even even up here, 90s, and it's low humidity. If you look at the dew points, you'll see the humidity's low, and we got strong wind gusts. So this can contribute to more wildfires. This 99 in Miles City. So yeah, very hot, very dry. The dew points in the mid-30s. Strong gusty winds. That's a recipe for disaster when it comes to these fires. And go into California, you have a little more humidity, but still, dew points are pretty low. And again, if you're at the coast, at least you're getting a little more relief this time. If you're on the shore, you got 78 degrees at Santa Cruz. So at least the islands are getting more of a breeze now than they were. But still, crazy amounts of heat. So let's go and take a look. We're going to actually go to California right now to a couple of National Weather Service offices, including Sacramento. And you can see it's 100 degrees reporting dangerous heat. And if we go over here, official temps. All right, so let's see. So we're going to go to their social media and see. I know they've posted some stuff on their social media. Let's see what they've got here. So record temperatures, let's see what we got here. Record temperatures, 110. So they broke the record again today. There you go. They broke the record again today. And let's see. Multiple locations broke or tied records again. What's going on here? We have fires. Yep. We have more fires going on. What is this? That's a fire. Mosquito fire has producing a pyrocumulus cloud. So you have that going on. Let's see if we can find the flex alert again for California. It's hell. It's literally hell there. There's no other way to describe it. It's hell. So here we go. As you can see, yesterday's temperature significantly warmer than ever recorded in Sacramento. And there's wildfire smoke being reported as well. So we're going to actually go to yesterday here because So here you go. 116, 115, 112, 114 at Sacramento. I mean, it's insane. It's just insane. All-time records. These are all-time, for all time. This is the insanity that's going on in California right now. And I have to talk about it because, again, the mainstream media isn't. You can see there's been some power outages going on. ISO Emergency Alert 2 going on right there. And luckily, people in California have actually been very good at conserving energy, and they've avoided large-scale power issues. So if you look here at the satellite, let's see if we can spot some wildfires going on here. Yeah, there's a few here. You can see some of the smoke, though, that we may have to worry about. I don't know if that's going to get over here or not. Let's see if we can find some of these. This looks like a fire right here. That's a fire. That's a big fire. I don't know if that's the mosquito fire right there, but that's a big fire right there going on there in California. So it's hell. You got wildfires. You got ridiculous heat. You got power shortages. It's hell over there. And, it needs to be talked about. But here's our area, just dealing with this low. So let's talk more about our weather now. There's a tremendous amount to talk about with the weather. So these weather updates are getting pretty long. So let's run the GFS. This is the GFS CONUS view. All right. And you'll see here the two tropical systems. Here's Earl and here's K. So we move this along here. You'll see Earl stays out to sea, fortunately, but K makes a landfall in Baja, and the GFS actually brings some of its remnants into Southern California, which might bring some welcome rain, but it's not going to make it too far in. But it could bring some welcome rain in to the state at least. But still, it's very unusual to see this. It's gonna go right in the middle of Baja, this thing. And perhaps even San Diego might wind up getting a tropical storm warning out of it. I mean, how crazy can you get? Anyway, as far as us goes, we have high pressure building in, and we're going to have nice weather through the weekend. And our next chance of rain won't be until Monday with a cold front. Unfortunately, our weather is pretty benign compared to what they're dealing with out west, thank God. So, yeah, we're going to go look at the tropics here. I want to look at some of these models here just to show you what we have here. So, do the North Atlantic again. So this again is, I would like to actually just go to the actual, yeah, we can use this, that's fine. So again, you can see what's going to happen with Earl here, all right? I'm using this to visualize the fact that we are going to see some swells from it. Look at how strong this thing is. Look at how deep it gets. So it actually takes Earl like almost right next to Newfoundland almost. And this is by Sunday. This is by Sunday. This coming Sunday, and then kind of pushes it out. But still, it keeps it intact the whole way to the United Kingdom. So, yeah, this is going to be something, I'll tell you. So now that you've seen all that, let's focus on our weather, and we'll go to the HRRR now. All right, 0's the HRRR, and well, obviously, we're done with the rain. It's out of here. No more, we're done with the rain. It's going to be drying and more sunny tomorrow. And you can see high pressure directly over us on Friday. So looking at the dew points, you see we have that east to northeast wind. That continues tomorrow, becoming a little more northeasterly versus easterly. That results in the dew points dropping a little more. So dew points probably in the upper 50s. And you can see that wind stays in the northeast direction as we head toward Friday, then gradually becoming more onshore later in the day, which will probably bring a slight increase in the humidity, but still pretty comfortable. So, looking at your surface temperatures, here are your surface temperatures. And again, tomorrow should be fairly cool on the HRRR. It only has it in the mid-70s, which would lead me to believe there'd be some cloud cover around with those temperatures, but we'll have to see. I'll have to look at a couple of the other models. Here's Friday, and overnight we'll cool off, probably in the upper 50s, obviously not here. And then for Friday, we'll be a little warmer with upper 70s to around 80 degrees. And again, this is the HRRR model. So now we're going to go look at the GFS model and look at our dew points, wind flow, and temperatures. So here's the GFS, and you'll see here going tomorrow, got that pretty stiff northeast wind still, dew points in the 50s. And then dew points stay low on Friday, still east to northeast winds. Then they start coming. We still have a northerly flow and a light, like westerly flow almost. So this is going to keep the dew points low on Saturday. And then we're still not seeing that shift over to the south because it looks like it's got some kind of circulation over there. That would be a high pressure actually over there. But you'll see here Sunday, dew points still stay low. So we won't be dealing with the humidity returning until ahead of that cold front. And this looks like a pretty strong storm here. Could bring us maybe a good chance of some showers and thunderstorms, maybe some severe with that kind of look to it, which you can see. But that is like a week, almost a week away, or a little less than a week away. But you see that would come through, and then we'd have the dry air behind it. But if we were to take a closer look at it, let's go to the temperatures as we head into tomorrow. So your temperatures, again, GFS a little warmer than the HRRR. That's tomorrow more mid-70s, which the HRRR is upper 70s. On Friday has more like low 80s. Right, I'm leading to go a little more with the GFS at this point. And then we're in the mid-80s Saturday. And again, if there isn't a sea breeze or a weak one, we won't really get, we won't see that much relief on the South Shore. And then for Sunday, we're still dealing with mid-80s. And cooler over here, probably because, again, there's a chance of rain. So if we go look at the precipitation here, you'd see there's a chance of rain there with that. And then we'd have that next front coming through for your Monday. I do see a little bit of a V there, so I'll have to see if we can get some thunderstorms. Remember those? We haven't had any of those this year. It's been really boring with that. So let's go look at the skies next. And here are the skies. And as far as tomorrow goes, I think we should be mostly sunny, especially in the later part of the day, according to the GFS anyway. And then for Friday, if tomorrow is a mostly sunny, Friday most certainly will be a fairly clear day, and so will Saturday as well. So we'll have good stretch of weather. And then Sunday, we're going to be dealing with more of the clouds coming in. So let's go look at the RGEM for sky cover. We'll go ahead and do that next. So here's the RGEM, and it does the same thing, kind of clears us out tomorrow. Start off with some clouds, and then by the afternoon, I think we're going to be mostly sunny, and we're going to have a nice clear sky. And then for Friday, it'll be a nice clear sky as well. And then Saturday, now this model seems to want to bring in some cirrus on Saturday, so I'll have to see. We may not have a clear sky. We may have a little bit of cirrus around on Saturday, but still pretty decent weather, but above normal for sure. So let me now go to another model here that we have for these for these tropics. All right, looks like they did some updating or something here. All right, so let's look at Danielle first of all. All right, and this is the EC. So let me just go to the GFS here. So here's Danielle. All right, if we put this on wind gusts, you'll see here. This is Danielle right here. Some of the wind gusts pretty substantial. All right, and again, this is if we look at this is Earl right here. You can see it's actually a little stronger than that. Maybe we should be using the European. Yeah, I think the European's actually more accurate. So yeah, you can see there's the European on that. And here is the the European I think is more accurate. So we'll use the European, more accurate with the latest, in line with the latest hurricane. And we're going to move these along here so you can get a chance to see what they're going to do here. So you can see Danielle weakening, but Earl exploding. Oh boy, yeah, this is he's going to explode. I'm telling you, Earl is going to become massive. Massive. It's going to be a close shave for Bermuda, but Category 3, Category 4, most likely storm as this thing heads north. And here we are into Friday. You could just track it here. Right. Meanwhile, here's Danielle starting to get a little more extra tropical. All right, here we are by Friday. Look at Earl still going strong. And this is incredible. Look at how far north it is. And again, look at how strong this storm is, considering how far north it is. We're still talking about a Category 3 hurricane as far north as Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. This is nuts. Finally doesn't start weakening until it starts getting north of Newfoundland. And then it starts weakening. All right. This is Sunday. All right. But again, every model is different. We can look at the GFS, and you can see GFS has it tracking much closer to Newfoundland and possibly impacting St. John's. So, yeah, this is quite a storm for sure. And then there's the effects of all these storms. Whoops. What did I just do here? There's the effects of all these storms, too. If we go back to the European, we're going to look at the the effects on the waves. So let's go. Let's go to tomorrow. You start seeing the surf getting kicked up already from Earl. I mean, look at some of these big waves here. You got 36-foot waves south of Bermuda, and we're going to start feeling that surf kick up. I think as we get into Friday and Saturday, you can start seeing the swell coming on. And here's Danielle, by the way. Look at the swell from Danielle, getting close to Greenland, by the way. So if we pull this out a little bit, it gets close. And here's Earl again. The worst of it will be out to sea, luckily. So, like I said, it's mainly going to be offshore, but we'll see a little bit. But if you're in Nova Scotia, you're going to be dealing with some pretty big waves. You're at least 10-footers. And again, look at out in the open ocean here. You're going to be dealing with 50-foot waves, perhaps. Absolute insanity with Earl here. We move this along Saturday, Sunday. Look at this thing. It's still kicking up the ocean. Almost the whole ocean here is being kicked up by this thing from end to end. Pretty insane. It looks like it may not make it toward... maybe the wave effect will not make it to Greenland, but we're certainly going to be feeling it here along the whole East Coast. I have this kind of pulled out here so you can see just the effects that this thing does. Yeah, it looks like some of it might get toward Greenland, perhaps. Yeah, a little bit there, and that's not good for the ice if you get those big waves crashing onto it. Yeah, it's just pretty crazy. You're going to be feeling, even Europe's going to be feeling the effects from this Earl. So, yeah, this Earl's going to be a monster. For sure. And then, of course, we have K. So, you got to go back and look at K. Don't forget about K. So, again, look at the waves that K is generating. Already huge waves. Here, we're just going to have a major disaster for Baja, which, again, is usually dry. I mean, look at the waves that are going to be crashing into the coast of Baja here. 30-footers, perhaps. That's pretty crazy right there. All right? And even they're going to probably even have to issue advisories for places along the whole West Coast. Yeah, look at these waves coming in. So the whole West Coast is going to be dealing with big waves. There's going to be definitely some surf advisories. Here we are Friday. Yeah, getting close to San Diego. Yeah, and actually San Diego may have a little bit of a storm surge. This is almost unheard of. So if we push this back to the winds here. All right, so here's tomorrow. All right, see, it's going to make a landfall here. All right, see, it's going to make a landfall right here with pretty significant winds here. It's going to slowly weaken as it interacts with land, but it's still going to kick up the winds, and you're still going to have effects in parts of Southern California. So how crazy is that? The crazy heat, then some tropical activity. The planet is going in chaos. But don't tell Wall Street. They won big today. Don't say won big. They won big. They're in their own little world once again, as they always are. Oblivious to there's nothing to celebrate here. That's for sure. But hey, that's the way they are. They're arrogant. Doesn't affect them. They don't care. That's going to wrap up this weather update. A lot going on, for sure. But we have some nice weather, so get out there and enjoy it. Even though a lot of other parts of the country are not having such nice weather at all, especially the West. And again, look at all this smoke. What I'm curious about? Just one more thing we're going to look at here, and that's that HRRR smoke graphics. So if we go look at the HRRR, I will look at the vertically integrated smoke, which is what I want to look at here. If we play this model, which we don't really have there's a movie we could play. I think that's an old run. So we actually have to go back to the 0Z. Yeah, let's go to the 0Z here. And I believe we can do a loop of that vertically integrated smoke. So it's going to tell us where this smoke is going to go. And then we'll wrap up this video. So, you can see here we are over here. So here we are through the 8th. So that's tomorrow. It looks like tomorrow we won't have to deal with this smoke, but I have a feeling toward the weekend we might wind up having to deal with it. It's as far out as that model goes, I think. It doesn't go any further than that. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. A lot going on once again. A very busy day with all these storms going on and chaos ensuing, especially in California. I just it's hell over there on the West Coast. It really is hell, and my prayers go out to them. This is a climate crisis that we're in. It truly is a climate crisis, and I hate to say it, but there's not much. Look, we can try, but you can see that this keeps going on, and nobody really wants to talk about it. Everybody just wants to just pretend that it's all going to be all right. It's not going to all be all right. Climate is in some serious trouble, and I think it's going to bring our civilization to the brink if we don't get our act together. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Thank you for watching.